This is taking way too long. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris and this is Restoration Rescue. So we are now on year 2. So we are actually moving into year 3 of this, as this is 2 years and our first video after we passed 2 years. August 14th was our 2-year anniversary from our very first video. So when you guys are watching this video, we will be over that 2-year mark. We have come a long way in the 2 years, and we are getting to a point where we're getting close to where I want. I want this thing to drive. I want this thing to be driving down the road so that I can at least, drive it during the weekend, get this thing in ready to do our projects. Same with the 454. 454 thankfully has not been 2 years, as it's been only a couple of weeks. I still have to get the engine out to the machine shop so I can get that taken care of and start the engine build so I can get this thing back in and start doing some goodies on that thing. But what we're doing today, like I said, is we are painting the rest of the interior. We have our paint. If you missed last week, we are doing what's called Sunlit Sand. It is a Nissan color. The reason why we did that one is I could get it a lot quicker and a little bit cheaper than the factory color, which would have taken me about a month to get, and I just didn't have that kind of time frame. 3 days after ordering this, it shows up. We're ready to lay down some paint. We laid down some amazing color last week. This week, we're gonna continue with the same color, but we're gonna get the back of the cab, we're gonna get the dash, and we're gonna get the roof all completed on the interior. So we're gonna go ahead and knock that out. And then if we have time, we're gonna lay some clear coat as well. All right, so here we are over at the workbench. We have my gun, we have our paint, we have our stir, which kind of has dried a little bit. You can see the paint color on the stick, not as gold as it looks in the truck. The truck looks absolutely incredible, and we'll show you that in a second. But what we need to do is just mix this up, shake it around a little bit, mix it all together, and then get it in our paint gun, and we can start laying the rest of this color down across this cab. All right, so what we're gonna do real quick is go over what we have here. So we have my paint in my paint gun. It is a gravity-fed paint gun, and this is the Apollo HVLP gun. So this is a nice gun that I've been using. I haven't used any others, so I can't really compare it to anything else. This is the first time I'm painting, and I think does pretty well. It's pretty easy to use. Not much prep. We do have to take it apart every once in a while to clean it, actually every time, but it does take a little bit for that, not a big deal. And then it came in a kit that came with this Eastwood 5-stage electric turbine. This is so I have constant air and constant quality air. This is pretty amazing. I've had absolutely no issues with this thing. Fires right up, and it lays an amazing amount of air down so that I can use this thing and make it out perfect. So what I need to do now is throw on my mask so I don't, get all these paint fumes in my lungs. And we're gonna start painting this cab. So we're gonna do the back, we're gonna do the top of the dash, and we're gonna go up and hopefully get this roof painted so that we can get this thing looking pristine with its gold color. So that looked pretty good. So as you can see, it looks a little splotchy on the roof, and that's probably because of the gray primer, and it takes a lot to cover that. So we did have to go a little bit thicker, and hopefully while it dries, it starts to even out. We're probably gonna have to lay a second coat. However, I do wanna give a big shout out to R&E Paint Supply, who supplied us with this paint. Yes, I purchased it. They didn't help. They didn't donate it or anything, but I just want to give them a shout out as it was quick, easy, and it's perfectly colored, just like it would be on the Nissan, and looks amazing. So we have a lot left to do on this truck, and while we wait for that to dry, we're gonna go back and talk about what has happened over the past 2 years, as this is our first video since our 2-year anniversary happened. So our 2-year anniversary happened on August 14th is our first day of posting our first video. And that takes us all the way back to when the truck was in the driveway and it got delivered. So August 12th, 2021, we finally purchased it. Myself and Tim, the guy who was our cameraman, who is our friend, who's still part of the project. He's more behind the scenes rather than cameraman and whatnot. Still a huge help, still a big friend of the channel. Still part of this channel 100%. We bought the truck, we did some discussions. I went out and kind of surprised him and bought it, and it's turned into a great friendship with him and his family. So we have started the build, we got it delivered here, tied it to a tree, ripped it off the trailer, and it's been here ever since. So in the first couple weeks, we got this thing torn down all the way to nothing but frame. Then we sandblasted it. We had a lot of friends helping out right away. Buddy Rob, who used to help me out, helped tear it down in the background every once in a while, helped us out. My neighbor Bobby across the street, he must love me. He's helped me out a lot throughout the years, helped me with this truck, with the engine build, helped me, just give me tips along the way, and some good old stories. And then we got to sandblasting. Sandblasting was a little dangerous because we forgot to wear masks, which we definitely promote wearing masks to protect your lungs. And we got this thing down to nothing but the frame. So we got the frame painted, and then we started to rebuild. We rebuilt our suspension, which looks great. We put 4 discs around, which are amazing. They look incredible. I can't wait to take that first stop. I may go through the windshield. But then we also purchased the secondary truck, which ended up being our Franken cab. We've taken parts from the original cab and this cab and got it into one. That took forever to get that, but we have to step back when we did our engine build. We have my grandfather who came around. I've had my parents throughout this entire thing, and I want to give them a special thanks as they've been here, you know, through thick and thin. If I needed something, I could call them right now and they'd be standing right here. I love them to death, and I thank them so much. They have been a big support to this channel. They have given me some good Christmas gifts like my welder. It's been a lot of fun doing this project, but they've been a huge help. My grandfather came in when we were tearing down the engine, helped us out a little bit because me and Tim didn't really know 100% what we were doing, but we were giving it a try. We also had Tim and his dog, Allie, came around. Unfortunately, Allie did pass. We were very upset about that. She was a really good dog, but unfortunately she got old and passed away. But he was a big help here, you know, helped us out, gave us some tips along the way, and helped in any way he could. Also had Mickey, who came along and helped us with our engine build at the very outset, helped us set the pistons, coached me throughout building an engine. Otherwise, reading books and watching online has got me to where we are. Then as well, we also had my buddy Gino, who's come in, and he's been a lot of help. We had a lot of fun. That was an excellent day when we built this thing. My buddy Bobby across the street came over, helped us. The whole neighborhood was here, and everybody just wants to hear this thing run. It runs amazing, it sounds amazing. I'm so pumped to get this thing cleaned and get it running down the road. Let's see, we had more people. We had my buddy Shane when we came and built our tent, which blew away literally the next day for sandblasting. And I'm probably forgetting somebody, but we've had all of you as well. That's a big help to us. We've had a lot of people new subscribe to the channel, which we really appreciate. but we also appreciate the comments, good and bad. We've had comments from everywhere across the country, across the world, giving us tips to create this project. This project is yours as much as it is ours. Maybe I'm putting the blood, sweat, and tears, but you guys are here every week supporting us and making this dream come true. I am so pumped to get this thing where it is. We finally got paint started. I am ready to start grinding the outside of the cab so I can paint that. I want to get the interior set and get it kind of running, because I can kind of run with where it is right now and just get it driving. Should be really, really, really cool. Got to get the brakes set up, all that. But in the upcoming year, I really hope to get this thing all wrapped up. I doubt I will have it 100% complete, but we will be very close, as we still have doors, we have a hood, we have power to run, we have some interior goodies to take care of, but we are getting there. So we also have to get everything just buttoned up. Got some things to tighten up, grease to put in the right spots, but now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go check back on that paint and see if we have enough time to lay down a second coat. So as you can see, it is a little splotchy, like up in here and whatnot. It's still a little tacky, and kind of what I want to do a little bit is sand a little bit of it back, try and smooth it out a little bit more, as some of it feels like it's a little rough. So I am going to sand that back at some point, but unfortunately we have run out of time. But we have had a lot of progress tonight. It may not look like a lot. Did a lot of painting, and that does take a long time, as it probably took me another 2 hours to get to where we are. So I am still waiting for that to dry, and I'm definitely going to lay another coat. We have a lot of things coming up to the channel, a lot of big stuff. We gotta get our color, we gotta get the exterior sanded down and grinded down and get it flat and flush, and get a little bit more filler on this thing so we can get this thing looking flush. We have bought some interior parts for this thing to get this thing started, to get this thing ready to go. I am ready to start popping out that key, getting our new keys set and getting this thing started. Brake lines to set up, which pretty close. If we can do, get the interior all set up, I'd like to paint the firewall just so I can start putting all the front end stuff together and getting it set so that it's ready to drive. I'm excited to get that new big brake kit set and working so I can actually drive this thing up and down my street. I don't need lights, I don't need a windshield, I barely need a seat. Get me a milk crate and get me some power. Maybe not even brakes. Who needs those? We can stop somehow. Whatever. But this thing has really come a long way in the 2 years. We're excited that you guys are here. If you are not subscribed, please do consider smashing that subscribe. Help us out. Get us bigger. Let's get this project faster and faster and faster, and get this 454 project going so we can start on another project. I am ready to keep building and building and building. I am learning so much in this process and loving every second of it on the way. I have met so many people who have done this in the past and have given me tips. I have met so many friends in the process, and it's just a blast to do. And again, thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you guys next Saturday.